Everybody online's trying to sell you the same dream. Start selling digital products and make money while you sleep. But here's the truth nobody's telling you. Selling digital products won't make you rich. And that's coming from somebody who's made over 7 figures online in my business and had my first digital product do a little over 900K. Because it's not the product that makes you rich. It's the problem that you solve, the position that you hold in the market, and the system that you build to keep your pipeline full. So if you've ever wondered why you're posting all this content and making offers, but the effort doesn't match up with the money, this is your wake-up call. Because most people don't have a business, they just have a file to sell. So let's fix that. The internet made selling digital products look like the easiest bag on earth. Make an ebook once and sell it forever. Make a course and never work again. Launch a community and have ever-ending non-stop passive income. And the only people getting rich off of that are the people that sold you the dream. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this all down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll probably just keep on believing into the dream and then wake up and figure out that it was actually a nightmare. But look, most people think that it's the product that sells, so they're always thinking about what type of product that they can sell or how many products can they create. So you'll see creators with 30 products and 30 problems, but they haven't built a business. They built a collection of just digital products. They're probably collecting dust on their hard drive or their Dropbox or Google Drive folder, wherever it is that you keep them. And I know a little bit about that because that's what I used to think that it was. I was like, okay, if I can just come up with as many digital products as possible, I'm gonna launch one new digital product every single month. And that's how I'm going to make my passive income and have an ever-flowing passive income machine of just this whole suite of digital products. That's not where it's at. And I fell into the trap that a lot of creators fall into. The reason most people stay broke selling digital products is simple. They wanna build what they want to sell, not what people need to buy. You don't get paid for making stuff, you get paid for solving problems. Let me repeat that one time for the people in the back. You don't get rich by creating products, you get rich by solving problems. So if your ebook doesn't save someone time, if your course doesn't make or save someone money, if your product doesn't change how someone sees themselves and deliver them a transformation, then you don't have a business, you just have a hobby with a checkout link. The wealth gap online isn't between creators and consumers. It's between people who sell information and people who sell transformation. You can copy anyone's format, you can copy anyone's funnel, you can try to copy somebody else's offer like pretty much everybody's out there doing, but you can't fake solving a real problem for a real person. So let me give you an example. A $27 Notion template that helps people stay organized. Like, yeah, that's cute. Whereas over here, you have a $497 program that helps people quit their job by organizing their finances. You see the difference right there? Like, one is transformative, one is life-changing, but they both have the same format. But even though they have the same format, they have completely different values. Why is that? Because one solves an inconvenience and one solves a pain. And that's what you want to tap into. You want to tap into the pain of an individual. You want to tap into the pain that somebody's going through, whether it be emotionally, financially, spiritually, health-wise. Because pain is the only thing that gets people to move. Just think about it. I remember a couple years ago, I had a toothache, right? And I remember I bit something one day, had just a little bit of pain. Didn't worry about it. Went on about my life. I had things to do. I had an event in Miami I needed to go to. I had an event in Atlanta I needed to go to. I had all these other things. I'm like, happened every little once in a while. But then one night I woke up and it felt like this pain was just throbbing. It shot all the way up to my temple right here. And it just felt like my temple was about to bust out of my head. And I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't sleep. I was doing my best to go to the dentist to get that thing fixed like the next day. But since I was going through so much pain, that made me move immediately. And I handled that thing right then. No more waiting. And that's how you have to craft your offers. So it doesn't matter about what it is that you want to talk about. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to sell. Can you isolate a painful problem for a particular person in the marketplace? And then can you effectively communicate through your content through your marketing, that you have the solution to that problem. That's the separator out here. You got to start asking yourself, what is the painful problem that my product eliminates? If it doesn't solve anything, start from scratch and make something that does solve something. People don't buy ebooks, they buy shortcuts to get out of pain. People don't buy courses, they buy clarity and confidence. People don't buy communities, they buy belonging and belief. If you actually want to make some real money online in your business, build a product that solves something painful enough to be paid for. And there's a good chance that you already have that thing, but you're positioning it wrong. And that's what sells. It's not the product, it's the positioning. Because your offer might be amazing, but if your positioning is off, then it's invisible. Positioning isn't just about who your product is for, but it's about who your product isn't for. Because the money lives in clarity. And there's so many creators out there that are trying to get in front of everybody, and that are trying to please everybody, and that are trying to get views, likes, comments from everybody, instead of drawing a line in the sand and making a separator and showing some clear division on who your stuff is for and who it's not for. It's okay if everybody doesn't watch your stuff. It's okay if everybody doesn't like your stuff, because you're looking to build a business. And if you're looking to build a business, then you can't go out and try to sell to everybody. You got to sell to somebody. I was watching an interview from the Taco Bell CEO not too long ago, and they were talking about how Taco Bell is doing like really well right now, because fast food chains are struggling right now while Taco Bell is doing great and having growth. And they were talking about how they're so tuned in to who their customer is, and they only make products for them and they only market to them. They could care less if I show up to their restaurant, because I don't eat fast food. Like, I don't go to Taco Bell. The only fast food that I might eat is Chipotle and Chick-fil-A. Outside of those two, I don't eat fast food. But Taco Bell is not worried about getting me into their restaurant. They draw a clear line in the sand. There's a division, and they say, hey, Aston, this is not for you. And I'm cool with that. I'll go to Chipotle. So I'll give you another example that may be a little more adjacent to what it is that you're doing right now. So I had a member in my community that was in real estate, but they had learned how to grow a following on Instagram, and they wanted to have an Instagram growth course. They were having problems selling it. And I was like, okay, you have this skill set that you know how to acquire an audience, but you're having problems selling it because your positioning is off. Because he didn't know who to make his content for. Because think about it, so many different people want to grow on social media. You have the person that literally just wants to be an influencer. You have the person that wants to be an influencer to get brand partner deals and sponsorships and all that stuff. You have people that want to grow a following to get affiliates and stuff. You have people that want to grow a following literally for no reason outside of they want to be famous. You have entrepreneurs, people selling digital products, people selling services, people selling coaching offers, people trying to build agencies, people selling software. Like, it's all over the place. And that's why his offer was dead, because he didn't have an avatar, right? Your avatar is going to be your one customer profile, and you only target and you make products for that one person. And through your content, you only make content for that one individual also. So what we had came up with was this. Since he originally had a background in real estate, I was like, okay, why don't we tap into that right there? And why don't you change your product and your offer from an Instagram growth course to the Instagram growth course for realtors that want at least 10 clients a month? Boom, his offer started to take off. And he didn't need a new product. It was literally the same exact product that he could not sell, that was getting 0 sales. Same exact product. All that we did, switch the positioning. Change it from an Instagram growth course to an Instagram growth course for realtors that want at least 10 clients a month. Boom. Money printer. So you may not even need a new product right now. You probably just need new positioning. So here's the rule I live by. If somebody can't tell what your product is in 3 seconds, then you don't have a product, you have a prayer, and you are going to be praying for some sales. Your positioning should filter people out just as fast as it pulls people in, because trying to sell to everyone keeps you broke. But speaking directly to somebody's identity, that makes you unforgettable. People don't just buy your product, they buy what it says about them. Now let's talk about what makes digital products actually profitable, and it's systems. And system is an acronym. SYSTEM stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money, right? So you have to create a system for yourself that can do the brunt of the work and that can be working 24/7, 365 to build your income, impact, and influence, because you don't have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But a system that you build for yourself can. And that's how, as an entrepreneur online, you can actually make more while working less once you input a system for yourself. So you don't need another course, you need a distribution system, because your product isn't your business, your pipeline is. And for me, once I saw the power of this distribution channel, I was like, man, this is crazy. And it's YouTube. YouTube is the #1 channel for distribution. And keyword on that channel also, because a lot of people, they're not even realizing when they're trying to build a YouTube channel, they're not thinking of that word channel. So their content's all over the place. Well, think about this as well. I don't watch much TV, but when I do watch TV, I'm only watching sports. Or I've recently discovered this channel called Boomerang that seems to always play old school reruns of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Like, here lately, I've been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo at night. So if I have on the TV, I'm usually either only watching sports or I'm watching Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Over here, Raggy. All right, I love Scooby-Doo as a child. It takes me back to another place, and something that I do my best to do each and every single day is tap into my inner child, because your inner child is where your confidence lives. Your inner child is where your aspiration lives. Your inner child is where all your dreams lie. Because think about it, when you were a kid, you thought that you could do any and everything possible, and you weren't scared to do anything. But then you got older, you started to put all these limiting beliefs on you that didn't exist when you were a kid. Why is that? Because you were told no so many times throughout your life. No, don't do this. No, don't touch that. No, don't run fast. No, don't do this. Oh, you gotta follow this rule, blah, 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 this, that. Then you become an adult and you don't even know what the hell it is that you can do, because you only know everything that you can't do. But that inner child doesn't know any of that stuff. So that's why actively I fight for my inner child each and every single day, because I feel like my inner child is that only thing that keeps me going towards my targets that I've set for myself, because that's where all my confidence is. And then I do this thing I call time traveling also, where I run back in time and ask my inner child if, like, this decision that I'm making or this life that I'm gonna be building off of these decisions, is this the life that you dreamed about? And I check in with him first, then I run back to the present. But that's a whole topic for another video. I do some things that a lot of people may think are weird, but all of my little weird things that get me in a mental space to where I have the confidence to actually act out on things, because over 99% of people don't believe in themselves. I'm like, hey, keep on calling me weird. Stuff works for me. But sorry, I went off on a little rambling rant right there. Maybe that's a topic that I can make another video about. Let me know in the comments if you would like a video on this mental exercise that I've done that has helped me make over 7 figures online in my business. If so, I may make the video. And if you didn't know, most of these videos I make off of the comments that I see on a day-to-day basis. So I'm just making the stuff that you tell me that you want to hear. But to take it back to the YouTube channel, right? It's a channel. So anytime I cut on the TV, if I cut it on ESPN, I'm expecting to see a basketball, football, or baseball game. Those are the main 3 things I'm watching. But hey, if some hockey's on, I'm going to watch that. If the tennis match is on, I'm going to watch that. If it's some track and field events, I'm going to watch that. But I know at the end of the day, I'm turning on that channel to get sports. When I turn it on Boomerang, I'm turning it on to watch Scooby-Doo. I'm sure they show other cartoons on there, but when I cut it on late at night, the only thing that's on is Scooby-Doo. That's what I call it. I was on the phone with my mama the other day. I was like, hey, you know, they got this Scooby-Doo channel, but it's not the Scooby-Doo channel, it's Boomerang. But regardless, when I turn it on that channel, I'm getting Scooby-Doo. Now, creators will be out here and say that they want to build their YouTube channel to build their income, impact, and influence, but they lose sight and focus on that word channel, so their content is everywhere. No, you want to build a channel so people come to know you for a specific thing. And that specific thing that they come to know you for is what you have your well-positioned offer set up for. So I'll give you an example. Somebody else that I was helping in my community, they're helping people with their credit. And then she was posting content, just vlogging, like on vacation, like, here's my trip to Cancun. And I was like, what does this have to do with credit? It had absolutely nothing to do with credit. So one video would be something about Cancun. The other video would be something about her family outing. The other video would be her cooking and stuff. She was just trying to be a content creator. I was like, yo, if you have this offer to help people increase their credit score, why don't you maybe make a channel about increasing your credit? Why don't you maybe give some financial tips? And if you do want to tap into that creator side of you, why don't you show that vlog that you did in Cancun and show how you paid for it with points off of your credit card? So you still get to make that same content that taps into your creative side that you actually want to make as far as vlogging, but it's positioned as a, yo, look at this cool trip that I took with my family that I paid for 100% with credit card reward points. Then that type of video also, simply because it's positioned different, will get more views, and those more views will be 100% of the right views because it will be people interested in learning how they could get a trip for free versus just having a video showing your trip to Cancun that why would anybody want to watch that? So then we positioned her offer to tap into people that wanted to travel all over the world for free. Boom. Her credit offer that wasn't selling instantly started to sell. Simple positioning. And then she can still make that travel content that she wants to. But it's always sprinkled through, how is she taking these trips? The reward points, the credit cards, which is what her offer teaches. For one, how to increase your credit profile, all that type of stuff, how to use the points, how to get these hotels for free and all that type of stuff. She be in Dubai getting these hotels for free. I'm like, that's how you tie in and position the offer with something that she loves to do and actually wants to make content about. But for this, YouTube can be your primary distribution channel for it because YouTube's traffic is better than all. So think about it. If somebody wants to learn about something, where do they go to learn about something? You don't go to Instagram to learn about something. You don't go to TikTok to learn about something. You don't go to Twitter or Threads to learn about something. You come to YouTube. All that other stuff is just stuff to numb your brain to pass the time. People pull out their phones and scroll while they're waiting in line at the grocery store. People pull out their phone and scroll while they're waiting on their girl at Home Goods. People pull out their phone and scroll while they're sitting on the toilet. And sometimes you might learn on the toilet. I know sometimes you be watching me on the toilet. Make sure you wash your hands. But the distribution on YouTube is also free. And it's even better than free because once you have a monetized channel, you actually get paid from YouTube. Now, getting paid from YouTube is not the goal. The goal is for you to build your business online off the back of your offer, right? But it is cool to get paid just to exist. And I have a background in paid marketing. And just from the traffic that my YouTube channel does, and I don't even have the biggest YouTube channel yet, but I would have to pay about $30,000 per month for the same amount of traffic that my small YouTube channel does. And then as a cherry on top, I don't have to pay $30,000 and YouTube pays me. So YouTube is a free distribution channel that if I make the stuff that I know certain people are looking for the answers to, and I make that stuff for them, and then I show them that I have an offer also to help them a little bit faster if they want some direct help from myself. I'm like, okay. And then on top of that, you're gonna pay me? So you're gonna pay me to promote myself instead of me having to pay to promote myself in advertising. And YouTube is an evergreen platform. It's the only long-term platform because a video that you post today can literally be getting you the right views for weeks, months, and literal years to come. Because I have videos on my channel that I did a year and a half ago that are still getting a few hundred views per day. And why is that? Because I optimized them for search. Because YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the planet. So I know that people are searching to the answers for this particular problem. Well, why don't I make the solution in a YouTube video, present it to them? These same people are gonna still be searching for this stuff for years to come. I'm like, wow, one video that I do can literally be getting me the right views, the right leads, the right traffic, the right sales for years. And then if you do some research, you can go to some of your favorite creators, go to some of the people whose videos that you watch, go to some of their most popular videos. You'll see that those videos are still getting hundreds and thousands of views per day, years later. Look at the comments and toggle it from top to newest. You'll see comments right now in real time from like today, from yesterday, from a week ago, from 2 weeks ago, and the video is like 7 years old. The number one guy whose content that I'm watching right now, I'm watching content of him from 4, 5, and 6 years ago because a lot of stuff that he's making right now isn't for me. And I check the comments and it's always people in like present day talking about, oh man, I wish I would have caught this gem 6 years ago, like on every one of his videos that I watch. I'm like, dang, these videos are still getting views 4, 5, and 6 years later. It's crazy. It's the only platform that can compound over time. And imagine if you tie your offer that can compound over time also with the right platform that can compound over time. You just have a crazy snowball effect. So check this. So if you realize this about YouTube and you're only focused on making that content for your avatar and that's it, because you understand that you are growing a YouTube channel. And I'm gonna break this down real quick because my iPad's about to die and I wasn't planning on using my iPad for this video, so that's why it's not charged up. But you only make content for this particular avatar. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna link a video that gives you a complete breakdown on how to build a system for YouTube that just works on autopilot and starts to attract and pull people towards you instead of you having to go out and find people or try to figure out what people want, right? So at the end of this video, I'll link a video that breaks down like a complete system. And remember, system, SYSTM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. So I'll give you a complete system at the end of this video on how to create this content, right? But you create this content only for your avatar. So then YouTube's algorithm categorizes your channel. You start to become known for a certain thing, and then you start to become an authority in the space. So a lot of people can't get in front of who they want to get in front because they're confusing the algorithm because their content's all over the place. Well, if you only make content for your avatar, then YouTube will know what type of channel that you are, and then they will categorize you so they can start to put you in front of those people. And how would they put you in front of those people? Well, they do it by using their organic traffic sources. So this is going to be the home screen. This is going to be the search bar. Like I said, how I get videos from a year and a half ago that still get hundreds of views a day, right? Because I optimize them for search. That'll be you getting suggested on the side over on YouTube. That'll be you getting external traffic from Google because Google is the #1 search engine on the planet and they own YouTube, which is the second biggest search engine, right? So you have all these traffic sources all working in one unison to get the right traffic for you, which means that you'll get more people that fix your avatar's profile on your channel. So then once we have that digital product or that well-positioned offer for these viewers of our channel, then once they start to watch our content, they start to know, like, and trust us, we get the money. Remember, it's all about the transformation, not the information. So they get that transformation. Then, since they got their desired transformation, they become an evangelist for you, which is basically just an ambassador. It's human nature. When we get something good, we go and we run and tell people about it. Also, on the flip side, when we get something bad, we run and tell people about it too, right? So you want people to be happy. You want to have that good word of mouth because bad word of mouth travels too, right? So they start to basically become an ambassador for you, which gets more people to buy your digital product, and you start to have this flywheel effect. These two together are what I call a flywheel that I put together for myself. And a lot of people, they don't even understand what a flywheel is. So since they don't even understand what a flywheel is, then they never take any time, energy, or effort strategically thinking on how they can build a flywheel for themselves in their business. And I actually learned this from studying big business, right? I learned this from Jeff Bezos because Jeff Bezos, he built Amazon off of a flywheel. And just to give you some game real quick, here's how Amazon flywheel looks. So it's all about growth. So here you have selection. Here you have customer experience. Here you have traffic. And here you have sellers. And then up here you have lower cost structure. And then here you have lower prices. That leads to that, which this leads back into that. So this is Amazon's flywheel. This is what Jeff Bezos built Amazon on. And when I was studying Jeff Bezos, I was like, okay, how can I take something that works for one of the richest guys on the planet? How can I pluck a little bit of that and bring it down here to me? So if you just explain this real quick. So if Amazon's whole thing is for growth, right? Well, think about it. You can basically buy anything on Amazon. So he's like, okay, well, if I have the best selection, then it's gonna have a great customer experience. The better my customer experience, then the more traffic that I'll get, because it'll mean more customers will come because it'll have that evangelistic effect. Well, the more traffic that I have, the more sellers that I'll get on Amazon because they want to get in front of all the traffic of the buyers, which will lead to having more selection for a better customer experience, to get more traffic, to have more sellers. Well, then since he starts to build his big business and he starts to get bigger, he's making more money. Well, now he can lower the cost, which is hard for people to compete with the lower costs. So since he has lower costs, he can lower the prices. And since he can lower the prices, it leads to a better customer experience, which leads to having more traffic on the site, which leads to having more sellers on the platform selling to those people on the site, which means to having more selection because more sellers are selling stuff there. And the more sellers that sell stuff there, the lower cost Amazon can have to lower the prices, and it just keeps on going and going and going and going and going. You start to have this flywheel effect, to whereas, yeah, it may take some initial time to get going, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it compounds over time, and it moves faster, and it just starts to grow. And then Amazon just becomes what Amazon has became. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to become a billionaire, that we're going to become billionaires with it, but if they can make all these billions of dollars with it, I'm like, I can probably pluck some of that out and make some M's with it. I should be able to make some M's with it. I should be able to make some hundreds of thousands with it. I should be able to make some thousands with it. I should be able to make some hundreds with it. Like, stuff that works on big scales also works at smaller scales. So when I was studying Jeff Bezos and I saw that this was his flywheel for Amazon, I was like, okay, I need to create a flywheel for myself. And this is the flywheel that I created for the YouTube. And this is something that you can easily start to implement right now. Like, you ain't gotta wait for this. Now, like I said, at the end of this video, I'll link a complete system for the content that you make. So this is the flywheel, but I have a complete system for the YouTube content that you make, because majority of creators, they're really struggling with, for one, how to make content, but even outside of that, what to make and the type of content to make. And I have a complete system that once you pair it with this flywheel, stuff takes off. But you got to stop treating your content like content and start treating your content like a business. And even take it a step further, you got to start treating your content like a product. So something that I do on every single one of my YouTube videos is that I position it like it's an offer. Just like I was talking about, a lot of people aren't selling their offers. A lot of people aren't selling their products simply because of the positioning of it. Well, if you have this marketing mind, and if you're thinking like a contentpreneur instead of a content creator, then you will see every piece of content like a product also, and it has to be positioned well. So on YouTube, it's not about getting all the views. We don't want to go viral. Typically, to go viral, you have to make broad content. And if we're looking to get our offers off, if we're looking to sell our offers, we don't need to get all the views. We need to get the right views. So are your videos positioned for an individual that has a painful problem that your offer solves? So for example, there's a member in my community. She's an African holistic healer. right? Her name's Bonacet. Shout out to you, Bonacet, if you happen to be watching this video. But we were having a conversation on one of our calls, and she had a method that would help certain women with womb pain or with uterus pain and whatnot, right? And I was telling her that she had a positioning problem, right? So I was like, and any ladies out there, don't come for me. I don't know your lady problems. Just talking about positioning here, okay? But I was telling her, I'm like, well, is one of these problems that somebody would go through for whatever the topic of this video, would it be period pains and cramps and all that type of stuff? And she's like, oh yeah, definitely. I was like, okay, well, instead of titling it whatever this yoga exercise was with all the spiritual and holistic vernacular that she understands what it is, I was like, okay, well, somebody on the internet that may not be aware of what this tactic is may not understand what that is. So if we know that a woman is having period pains, like bad period pains, well, how about we position that same video to talk about how this cures whatever this period pain is, how this cures cramps, how this cures whatever it is, and position it that way. So then somebody with that problem would be pulled and drawn and magnetized to that actual video because it's something that they're going through. It's a problem that they suffer for and a problem that they need solved. So why don't we lead with that, attract the person, and then throughout the video, educate them on what your practices are. Just like this video, for an example. I didn't title this video, How to Properly Position Your Offer to Get in Front of Your Target Customer to Acquire More Sales in Your Online Business. I titled it, Selling Digital Products Ain't Gonna Make You Rich. Like, people will be like, what? Like, people that want to grow an online business and that want to monetize their intellectual property and want to sell an informational, transformational product. They're like, what? Digital products aren't gonna make you rich. What is that? And then I can educate about positioning in the video, because this whole video is about how to properly position a product. But I know that nobody's going to click that video if I say how to properly position a digital product. Just like if I wanted to turn that into a course, or I wanted to turn that into an ebook, or if I wanted to build a community around it. Just like nobody would buy it if I titled the program, How to Properly Position Your Digital Product. But I will probably get sales if I say, get your first 100 digital product sales in the next 90 days. Then people will probably buy that. It's all about positioning. And people that struggle with YouTube, 9 times out of 10, they have a positioning problem. They could make the same exact content that they make, position it differently, they'll get the right views. And since they're using that content as a marketing engine, you could probably have the same exact offer that you have. Position it differently, and those views from the properly positioned content will now know about the properly positioned offer, and the percentage of those properly positioned views will buy the properly positioned offer. But if you actually want to make some money online in your business, you got to master 3 things. That's problem solving, that's positioning, and that's systems. That's it. And once you master those, it's pretty simple to get numbers coming in online in your business, just like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this credit at the top community. For personal coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So go ahead and click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. I'm telling you, this stuff is simple. Like, it's not complicated. It's not rocket science. The simple stuff scales. It's all the fancy stuff that fails. And a lot of people are trying to make it too fancy. And a lot of people are making it harder on themselves. And I'm telling you, I've had 6-figure months and I've had $6 months, literally. And the only difference was positioning. And I'm telling you, the product is not the problem. It's the positioning and it's the system. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here for a complete YouTube system that you can build to match with this flywheel that I shared with you. It's credited at the top.